6:45, your top stories in your Sunrise Smart Start this Thursday, starting with a scene breaking overnight. A man in the hospital after a shooting in Rochester. That shooting happened just after 11:30 near Hudson Avenue and Bernard Street. The victim, a 26-year-old, showed up at the hospital around the same time police got on scene of the shooting. We're told he is expected to live. RPD is still investigating potential leads on a shooter. Also breaking, 2 men arrested after a call for a possible burglary, a chase, and a crash. This all started around 2:30. A sergeant from RPD on patrol saw a box truck parked behind Hickey Freeman on North Clinton Avenue, as well as damage to a fence. 2 suspects got into the truck and took off. The police say that truck later crashed into a tree at Hollenbeck and Morrill. 1 man made a run for it but was captured. The other stayed in the truck and kept driving before he was eventually taken into custody. We're told charges are pending. The latest on a woman shot and 2 men arrested after a police chase through Rochester and Greece yesterday. 2 white Jeeps were involved in this pursuit, one of them with a toddler inside. Officers first heard gunshots Wednesday morning and saw the 2 vehicles speeding away from the scene. RPD, state troopers, and deputies all gave chase. One of the Jeeps stopped in Greece at Stone Road and Dewey Avenue, where 1 man was arrested. The other vehicle dropped a 37-year-old woman shot off at the hospital to get treatment. That vehicle later found on Jackson Street with damage from the shooting. Officers say a man and a 2-year-old were inside that Jeep. They were not injured. A father has been arraigned after RPD says he threw his baby girl to the ground while running from officers. CPS workers responded to the House of Mercy Tuesday, investigating a previous report of child neglect. Police say 25-year-old Gerald Benitez Alvarez ran from them while holding his baby. He ran into the street and was hit by a box truck at Joseph Avenue and Ward Street. That impact knocked him and the baby to the ground. They say he picked her back up and dropped her again as he kept running away. The baby is still hospitalized with a fractured arm, ribs, skull, brain bleeding, and other injuries to her face. Kia and Hyundai thefts are still a serious problem this year, happening daily. And one woman spoke to News 8 anonymously after her car was stolen and used in a crime. The victim says her 2019 Hyundai was stolen last Thursday in the overnight hours off West Ridge Road in Greece. It was also involved in a high-speed chase. Because her car was used in the crime, it is being held as evidence, meaning the owner and insurance company can't get access to it.
I just feel like there's no help on our end. We have to pay all these extra fees when these kids stole our cars. Someone should be held accountable. My car is completely damaged from the top to the bottom. There's no saving it. And all I'm getting is that they're minors. Call your insurance. I'm sure the insurance is capped out on what they can do. But it's not about the violation and the fear.
The 2 teens police say were responsible for that theft were taken into custody. The victim says she's still waiting to hear more from the district attorney's office regarding any legal action she can take. About that, the Monroe County DA Sandra Dorley is speaking to us about the challenges courts are currently facing in responding to these stolen car cases. Of the more than 1,300 stolen cars out of the city, Dorley says many of them have not ended with arrests. And even when they do, she says those taken into custody are really mostly young teens.
We need to hold these individuals accountable regardless of their age. You know, a lot of innocent people are going to Wegmans, they're going to their church, and they're coming out and they're finding that their cars are not there. That's unacceptable in this community.
She adds misdemeanor cases for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle for stolen cars typically go to family court for suspects younger than 18, that being under New York's Raise the Age law. The mother of one of the Main Street Armory concert crowd surge victims is voicing her frustration after it was announced that there would be no criminal charges filed. 3 women died, 8 other people were injured when this happened in March. Eloise LaFleur's daughter, Aisha Haskins, one of those victims who passed away. She was just 35. LaFleur tells News 8 the lack of criminal charges makes her feel like more could still be done to help the victims' families.
This is a blow to a family who's already suffering by the loss of my child, 35 years old. And it's a slap in the face. You just beat us down even further. You know, you're not allowing anyone to be held accountable for the death of 3 women.
She also claims she was told once that report was finalized on the investigation, Rochester police would reach out to let her know. She says that did not happen. We did reach out for a response from RPD to her claims, have yet to hear back. LaFleur also says the report will not stop her from continuing to seek justice in her daughter's death. 10 minutes ago until the top of the hour in CBS Mornings, let's bring in our meteorologist James Gilbert for an update on the forecast and the morning checklist.
Yeah, it's one of those days where just the rain jacket's probably a good idea. Even though everything out there is very light, we do expect those showers to linger for a lot of this morning. We're still wearing a hat, believe it or not, out there, so something to think about. Town by town temperatures, looks like we just touched 50 in Rochester. 52 Macedon, Scottsville 53, Honey Falls, you'll get there as well. 51 Canandaigua, Bristol 49 this afternoon. We'll take a look at the 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Brennan.
All right, James, sunrise traffic now at 6:51. The map's still showing up okay in terms of nothing new reported in terms of crashes or slowdowns, but check that out. That is what we're dealing with a little bit higher up in the sky. All the fog early on this Thursday. RG&E customers rallied outside their company's customer service building, on Clinton Avenue, hoping to have their sky-high bills resolved. This comes amid complaints of some bills hitting more than 12 grand. Advocates are calling for the company to be turned into a public utility to be replaced. But the union representing workers from RG&E says that move wouldn't resolve really anything.
A public power entity is not going to change the realities of the utility industry here or anywhere else. We've looked at it. It's not a solution to the problem, and we're looking for solutions to the problems.
RG&E is hosting several pop-up service events in and around Rochester over the next couple of weeks. The first coming up Tuesday. That'll be at Penfield Town offices, followed by another pop-up on the 19th. Here in Rochester at Action for a Better Community. That's on West Ave. Company representatives will also be there for the festival at Highland Park throughout the second weekend of this year's Lilac Fest. Heading into warmer months with pools around the area outdoors opening in just a couple of weeks, it is time to focus on water safety to keep people from drowning. And this event is not just only for kids, it is free and it's this weekend. Here's Jatira Marsh with all the details. Jatira.
Brennan, the Theta Omega Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority has its free annual Swim 1922 program on Saturday. The event will include swim lessons for youth and adults, safety lessons for bodies of water such as lakes, what to do in and around pools, also arts, crafts, and intramurals. Members of the sorority share that the goal is to reduce the fear of swimming.
According to the CDC, 10 people drown a day, but a more startling fact is that 70% of African American children and 60% of Hispanic children don't know how to swim.
We know that there's a fear and apprehension around swimming as a result of a lack of exposure and barriers, and so this event will help to reduce those fears.
The event is at the Maplewood YMCA from 1 to 5 again on Saturday. Brennan, back to you.
All right, Jatira, thank you. What a great event with that group behind it. Rochester Police Officer Denny Wright has been presented with the Governor's Police Officer of the Year Award. That ceremony yesterday. Wright technically received this award in 2019, but the event was postponed due to the pandemic. Wasn't held until now. Wright, a 20-year veteran of RPD. He was attacked, stabbed in the face and body, left blind after responding to a call in 2019. He is the first officer from Rochester to receive the Governor's Police Officer of the Year Award.
Finding purpose has been the biggest struggle since this happened to me. And the purpose that I have found is sharing what happened to me with young officers, with veteran officers, talking about what I did after this incident that happened to me, because that's even more important, the things that have gone on since. And it is the best job in the world, regardless of what happened to me.
Wright was also awarded the Medal of Valor and the Purple Heart in 2021.
I'll stop forecast sunrise at 6 a.m. That was nice. Tomorrow it'll be before 6 a.m. Otherwise, though, it's cloudy, it's dreary out there, some fog, a little drizzle. You saw the traffic cameras that we were showing earlier with all that fog. Mostly cloudy this afternoon. Yeah, stuck in the 40s. Highs just touching 50 today. Mid-50s tomorrow. And then there we go. By Saturday and Sunday, it'll be cold to start the mornings over the weekend, but decent to finish. The jobs outside that have been waiting for the weather can be completed this weekend.
The end is in sight with this rain. Thank you, James. CBS Mornings coming your way. We'll see you back here at about 7:25.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.